Hey, what's up, fellas? It's your boy GD Inferno here. What I have for you guys today is the full Easter egg guide on Attack of the Radioactive Thing. Now, I know this is the hardest one to understand, so bear with me here. I'm going to go through it as much as I can, as clearly as I can for you guys in 2024. Now, for the start of this game, before you go into it, we're going to start with the setup. I 100% recommend the UDM Stalker. This gun has a built-in aimbot. It's super strange. All you have to do is crouch, and then your hip spread will go wider. Anything within your crosshairs of your hip firing range will be dead instantly. It's super strange, but that's just how it's programmed, and it's good for this Easter egg alone. But going on the Fate and Fortune cards, I'm going to be using all classics. The classics I'm using are Scope Dollars, Carpenter, 5-Second Muscle, Best for Last, and Mana Up. Mana is the most important one out of the 5. Make sure you have it at all costs. But other cards you can use are Timely Torrent, Nade Party, Eagle Eyes, Evade, Escape Route, Hide and Seek, and Get Packed. Get Packed is the Pack-a-Punch wall buy. That's going to be for the UDM. You definitely want it packed once for this boss fight. Now, onto the steps itself. There are a fair amount of steps, but we're going to be going by this right here. This is our lovely HUD. Our lovely HUD has 5 sections. Top part here, 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 and boom. We're going to be worried about the first 4. This one is for having Elvira in the boss fight. I'm not worried about that. We're worried about these 5 here. To start off, we're going to start off with Elvira herself. To unlock Elvira, it's Pack-a-Punch. You need to go to the beach, get the power switch from the zombie hand, and put it on the power box in the power plant. And once you have turned on the power, there will be a safe in the diner. Go ahead and pick it up, and you want to walk over to Elvira. She says that she's thankful for getting her book, but she's going to need a little more help. She's going to hand you a vial. You need to charge this vial with zombie souls. I believe it's about 15 to 20. In order to charge it, you're going to need the cleaver. In the market, right next to Deadeye Dewdrops, there's going to be a meat market where there's a cleaver and a shark. Pick up that cleaver, and that'll be a one-hit melee item for you. This lasts until about round 8 for one-hit melees, 2-hit melees from round 9 above until whatever. You will need to fill this up until you get Elvira's help. Once you have Elvira, you will be able to access Pack-a-Punch. There are several Pack-a-Punch portals, but we're going to use the one next to her studio. So give her the vial once it's completely full, and she say, "Oh, thank you so much. I'll come help. Just give me a few seconds," something like that. And then you need to stand in front of the Pack-a-Punch portal next to the car. She will go directly there if you're in front of the portal. And then you have Pack-a-Punch. Now, the next part we're going to be working on is going to be this lovely, lovely square here, where it's all pink with a missing part in the middle. This is the Buildable Zombie. There are 6 parts. You need the head, 2 arms, 2 legs, and a torso. There's also going to be a punch card and 3 mirrors. The reason I had you guys do Elvira first, because one of the mirrors is going to be behind her on the couch. Once she leaves to go open the Pack-a-Punch portal, this is the best time to do it because she's out of the building. Once you see the little black circle on her bench, just say, "Elvira's not here right now." Hold X on the bench, and you're going to get her mirror that's laying behind her. The second one, you will need to grab the crowbar out of the break room of the Melta office. Then you would need to go to the RV park. You're going to see this perfectly good-looking mirror that's a little foggy. You need to break it. Break it, and it's going to be a shard of glass that drops in the sink. Pick up that part right there, and then we're going to go to the third mirror, which is in the road next to the garage. There's 2 wrecked cars that have been T-boned together. The one that is doing the T-boning has a bent mirror. You need to melee that mirror with the crowbar, and it's going to fall to the floor, and then you can pick it up. Now, we're going to focus on the zombie. Starting with the head, you need to open up Pack-a-Punch first. Once you open up Pack-a-Punch, you need to press the button on the wall, similar to Challenge Shuffle with its double Pack-a-Punch quest, but this time it's going to take you to an RV trailer. When you enter the trailer, you're going to see the head sitting on a platter, kind of moving on its own. It's a little creepy, if you ask me, but that's where you get the head. Now we're going to move on to the torso. For the torso, you need to get the ice trap fixed in the market. For this, the part missing is on the side of the garage. You go to the left side of the garage towards the dumpster pile. It's going to be right there on top of the forklift. You pick it up, take it back to the trap, and for 750 points, you need to freeze the entire locker. You melee the calf right in front of the torso, and then pick up the torso. The next two parts are going to be the arms. The first one's going to be at the beach. It is the arm you had the power handle in. We can't pick it up once it's sunk into the ground, so we need to build a seismic generator. It is the buildable trap in the diner. The blueprint is just outside the entrance that's closest to Ghosts and Skulls. You'll see it on the floor there. The first part is going to be the hammer. The hammer is on the red bench nearby the UDM wall-by. The second part is going to be the copper coils. It's going to be on the outside of the diner, close to where you find the pack-punch portal. And the third one is next to the porta potty near the playground. It's right there at the base of the porta potty. Put all three on the table and pick up the seismic generator. You then want to take it to the beach. When you place the generator down, the arm will start to rise. You can pick this up during the seismic activity. I would recommend not doing that because you have a chance to pick up the generator itself. Once it's done, you can pick it up. Then the second arm is going to be in the RV park. In the RV park, there's going to be a little circular trash pile that's on fire. When you look into it, there's going to be an arm. Pick up that arm, and now we're going to be going to the legs. The first leg, you have to wait till round 5. On round 5, these green army soldier zombies will start spawning in. Using the cleaver specifically, you need to melee the zombie, and a leg will drop. That is the first leg. The second leg is in a tree just outside Elvira's studio. You need to throw a grenade at it. Now, you can see this from either side, but for this one, I was on the back side of the fence, close to Elvira's studio. Cook the grenade, throw it at the top of the tree. The grenade needs to explode when it hits the tree. If it explodes when it's past the tree, it won't fall out of the tree. It needs to explode on the tree for the part to fall out. Once we have the leg, we have all 6 parts of the zombie, but now we need the punch card. The punch card is in the diner. It's on the tabletop close to the seismic wave generator. But now that we have all the zombie parts, we're going to move to the next step involving the zombie, which is turning the zombie into a key. For this to work, I would highly recommend you have out the carpenter at the hand. And also, during this time when you're finding everything, make sure you build the hypnosis device. This will help you out drastically during this step. In the spawn room, you're going to want to put the zombie on the gurney. There will be a punch card machine where you put the punch card in, and the 3 mirror spots you need. To the left of the punch card on the crate, that's where the car mirror is going to go. And to the left of the gurney, you're going to put the broken shard of glass that you broke from the bathroom mirror. And then finally, closest to the up and out machine, there are going to be some pallets. You're going to put the mirror in the green pallet. Now, you want to put down the hypnosis device. This is the boombox. It takes about 20-30 seconds. This is plenty of time for you to activate this machine. Go ahead and pop your carpenter to give you some time. You interact with the machine to punch in a code. These numbers are always 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. And it's some specific order. I believe there's like 5 or 6 number sets this can be. Don't worry, it's not as bad as it sounds. But when you do punch in the number using those 5 digits, in my game, my number was 6, 4, 3, 5, 8. When you punch it in, the broken zombie will now turn into a full zombie. You need to activate it again, but this time, you need to do your number backwards. So 6, 4, 3, 5, 8 becomes 8, 5, 3, 4, 6. Once you hit that in order, you can then interact with the machine again, and the zombie will turn into a key. Now, we take this key to the garage and open up the closed garage door. We're not done yet. We're going to be going now to this little section right here. This little section is the chemistry step. We'll start that in a moment, but we need to get that part first, and then we also need this section right above Elvira's head here. But we're going to start with the chemistry section. The first part can be found in the market itself. As soon as you open the door from the power grid into the market, on the green couch, you're going to see a canister. Pick that up, and then the second part is going to be in the RV park. And next to the RV, they're going to be on the bench table is a set of valves. Pick those up and go out of the RV park to the beach. And on a bench closest to the barricade is going to be the final one. And this is it's the computer. It's the computer. You pick that up, and then now we're going to go to the next section, which is bomb parts. At the beach, you're going to go to the bridge that crosses the stream. Just underneath the bridge is going to be the first bomb part. The second bomb part, go past the Spartan wallby and take that 2,000 point barricade door and look under the red car. You're going to see the second bomb part. I believe this is the gas. And then the third bomb part is going to be outside of Elvira's studio. You need to buy the barricade. If you don't buy the barricade, you will not be able to interact with this item. It's super strange. But it's going to be behind the fence line on the left side of the barricade, as you see in my game. Now let's work on the bomb code. In the market, underneath the desk closest to the hypnosis device, there's going to be 4 blue numbers in a row. These are always random every game. You could have 1113, you could have 5428, something like that. In my game, my numbers were 1818. There are a total of 4 gas valves around the map that correspond to this. We simply need to hit the gas valve with the crowbar when the dial hits the number on the gas pressure valve. The first one I did was the one in the motel break room. I hit 8. The second one I did was the one near the bus stop on the right side of the building connected to the quickies. For that one, I also hit 8. The next one is going to be in the power grid. It's behind the main central building in the power grid. For that one, I hit 1. And finally, the one behind the gas station, I hit 1 as well. If you mess up, you can hit it again, and it'll go all the way over to 10, and then slowly creep back to what you need. Now, if you keep hitting it, it's going to creep back slower and slower, so be patient with it. These can be hit in any order. It doesn't matter what order you hit them in, as long as the 4 numbers correspond to the 4 valves. If there are duplicate numbers that are not corresponding to the numbers under the desk, check again, make sure each valve has a unique number on the 4 numbers. Once you hit all 4 correctly, a safe will open in the market. Once it's open, the number in this slot right here that I'm showing you right now will appear. This is also random every game. The one thing I can warn you about is the fact that you don't want a 1. The 1 will be the worst number to get out of any number on this number panel. Now, let's go in to the chemical step. One thing we need to have that is very important is an Elvira's studio. If you stand to the left of the color change machine and look up into the employee-only sound booth, you're going to see a little equation. It'll say I times motel equals color filter. In the motel office, there is a number that looks like a pyramid with a number above it. You want to keep that number in mind. Other 4 numbers we need are around the map. The first one is in the RV trailer. You have to go through Pack-a-Punch in order to get this one. It's the same place as the head. It's going to be on the fridge. The second one is going to be underneath the bridge that crosses from the road next to the garage all the way over to the motel office and the motel area. The third one is on the blue door at the garage. And then the fourth one is going to be in the market. The I numbers that you have are always going to be 2, 4, 8, 9, 11, and 15. How exactly can I tell what number is real? Well, there are 2 ways to do it. The first way is to flip the color channels. On the color channel machine, you can flip it to red, green, or blue. Flip it to red, and then, for example, we're going to go underneath the bridge. If you flip the color channel, you're going to keep looking at the number until there is a slash within the equal sign. This is saying that your I number equals blank. This goes for all 4 spots. If you see a slash in one of those points, then it's not the right number for you. But if you don't see a slash at all when you flip it 3 times through red, green, or blue, this is your number. In my game, the red I symbol had a slash through it in the motel office. The green I symbol had a slash through it under the bridge. And the blue I symbol had a slash through it on the garage door. This is proving that the number on the TV screen that I need for my I symbol is 8. So now, instead of trying to find your number every time via multiplication, you can easily do division. The numbers on the television are labeled in sets of 5 anytime you're doing this. So in my game, it was less than 41, between 41 and 43, and greater than 43. If it's sets of 5, this translates to 40, 41, 42, 43, and 44. There's only one number in that set of 5 numbers that 5 goes into, and that's 40. So we take 40 divided by 5, and we get 8. That is the wraparound solution. Now that we have my number being 40, we can go change the color to blue. In my game, the blue filter made acetaldehyde 9,3. On my lovely chart, it says that 9,3 is filter 3. And so all we have to do was go to filter 3 and then subtract 8. This is what I'm going to call a bad example. And in my game, at least in this game, I had less than 19, between 19 and 21, and greater than 21. The motel number was 2. In my bad example, I had both 18 and 22, which are both divisible by 2. I bring this up because in my example, I had both 9 and 11 for what I needed. I had to do this entire chemistry step twice for that reason alone. This is one of those bad examples where you have to look at the numbers in order to find it. There are times where your motel number can be 1. I've seen it twice. It's not the greatest thing in the world at all. Now, if you were to flip the color channel and go into the garage, you will find the chemical equation says this: the left diamond plus the top diamond, and then subtract the I number. This is what that chemical equation says in the market. Let's go to this big chart right here. What you're seeing here is all 6 number sets. Yes, 6 for doing this chemical equation. Now, on these number sets, I have every single board number for you guys right here. These said boards are found in these 6 spots. The first one is going to be in the spawn between the 2 ports. The next one is going to be behind the market next to the trash cans. The third one is in the garage itself. You have to open the garage to see this one. The fourth one is going to be at the beach, at the very end of the beach, the bottom left corner of it. The fifth one is in the RV park next to an RV, close to where you found the valves. And the last one is Elvira's studio. Now, when we get to the chemical, how do we know exactly which one we need? That will be in the radios. There are a total of 8 radios around the map. I'm going to start with the 6 that you need to help you identify the chemicals, and then we'll go to the ones you actually need for the Easter egg. The first one's in the spawn. It's in the left port where the Hailstorm Worldwide is sitting on a chair. The second one's going to be in the market. It's right on top of the 4 numbers you need for the bomb code. The third one is behind the gas station, and the trash pile is going to be right on top of the wooden pallets. The fourth one is close to where you found the computer on the beach tables. It's the one after you open the barricade, or before you open the barricade, depending on which side you come from. The fifth one is going to be in the RV park. It's sitting in the open RV connected to Mule Munchies. And then the last one is in Elvira's studio. Enter from the Racing Stripes side. It's going to be right there on the chair. Now, there are 2 that you need for the Easter egg. These are the one in the motel office. The one is in the power grid. For these to activate, it will say that you need a battery to activate. These batteries are in the bags. They spawn in as low as round 8. If you don't see them on round 8, it is between rounds 8 and 11. Now, one of the radios will tell you exactly how to build the chemical you need.
The only thing fading is your grip on reality.
The other one will tell you exactly what chemical you need to put in the bomb.
3-methyl-2,4-dinitrobenzene may be a rather crude solution for what...
In this case, it gave me 135 teranitrophenol for my battery. So for the chem step, I had to type in 21, 10, and 18. There are a total of 5, but one of them is a bonus. Before we get into doing any kind of chemical building, I'm going to show you where each of the chemicals are, and I'm going to go down the list of all the chemical boards. Starting with the first one in spawn, we're looking for detergent. Detergent is on the shelf closest to the alcohol section. It's a blue box. It stands alone. Racing fuel is just outside the garage, sitting next to the chair. Baking soda is 1 to 2 shelves away from the detergent. It sits alone. It's a gray box. Vodka is in the alcohol section. It's a standalone bottle. It's like 3-4 shelves down from the top. Insect repellent is in the spawn. It's between the two hubs, right across from the board. But we're going to go to the second board. Drain opener is in the RV park. You go to the bathroom stall next to where you broke the mirror. It's going to be in there. Quarters, you will definitely need the crowbar for this one. It's going to be the payphones. You need to melee the payphones with the crowbar. Glass cleaner, you enter the door from the garage side of the market, and then on the shelf, bottom right hand side, as soon as you enter the building, it's right there. Nail polish remover, it is in the motel office. It's right next to the radio on the desk. The pennies, it is the cash register closest to the alcohol section. You need to melee this one with the crowbar. Pool cleaner is at the pool. This is a chemical you will not need to use, but it's just there in the game. Next up, we're going to have animal fat. You need to have the cleaver and melee the far left calf in the frozen meat market. For motor oil, you need to open up the garage. It's right there on the floor next to the bomb. Wheel cleaner is going to be a shelf across from the glass cleaner. It's a standalone bottle. For table salt, next to the animal fat in the corner of the counter. It's right there on the table. Plant food is close to Quickies, is on the left side of the building, closest to the fence. Paint is next to the, I want to say the she shed with racing stripes. It's on the back side of the building. Vinegar is going to be on the table in the market, closest to where you build the hypnosis device. For ice, you can punch it with anything. The cleaver, crowbar, doesn't matter. It'll be the ice box. I don't know where bleach or powdered milk are in this game, but those are all the chemical ingredients scattered across the map. This is by far the hardest step in any Zombies Easter egg period, from Black Ops 1 all the way up until Cold War. I'm going to explain it the best I can using my good old buddy sheets. This is my chemical chart, but we're not going to get to this just yet. Let's take a look at my red numbers here. The red numbers are things that you have to pay attention to the most. Detergent is in all 5 chemicals that we will be getting into. Drain opener is in 2 of them. Formaldehyde is in 2 of them. And then acetaldehyde is the one number that's most important, because when you flip the color channel and get the number you need by doing the division and or subtract multiplication, you need to look at acetaldehyde. This number right here will tell you what you need. Now, when you do the math for these, it'll be the top diamond plus the left diamond. That's what these numbers are. I've made it so easy for you for doing the math part of this entire step. Every single time you need to punch in a code or a chemical, this is where you would go. So for instance, if I had my example here, 3-methyl-2,4-dinitrobenzene, dinitro and racing fuel mixed together, I used filter 1, subtract 11. So let's go to filter 1. Filter 1, I have 13 for dinitro, which is 6 plus 7. Racing fuel is 5 plus 1. Using the chemical formula in the garage, I need to add these two together, which is 13 plus 6, which gives me 19. If I were to subtract 11, I should have 8. So go to here, filter 1, 2, 4, 8, 9, 11. And then the final chemical, bam, 8. This is for every single box. Filter 2, filter 3, 4, 5, and 6. Here, I'm going to go ahead and zoom out for you guys so you can see this real quick. Every single filter box is here. If you get confused about what I'm telling you, don't worry. I left instructions for you guys all up here, and so you can follow it as easy as you can. These are all the numbers you need, and this is how you build the chemical. The first one on the list I'm going to be showing you guys is going to be octahydro 2,5-nitro-3,4,7 parazochine. The first thing you need to do is mix 2 chemicals together to make formaldehyde. This is racing fuel in quarters. The next part is hexamine. For this, you need formaldehyde that you just made and glass cleaner. And then for the third one, you're going to have the chemical you need. This one, you need the plant food, the hexamine you have just formed, with the vinegar and detergent. For the second chemical, it is the easiest out of the 5, and that is 1,3,5-teranitrophenol. For the first chemical, you need the insect repellent, motor oil, and wheel cleaner. To make phenol, for the second one, you need phenyl sulfonic acid, which is the phenol you had just created, and the drain opener. And then for the final one is the phenyl sulfonic acid you have mixed with detergent. The third one on the list is 3,4-dinitroxymethylpropene. For the first chemical, you will need formaldehyde again. For the second chemical, it is acetaldehyde. You're going to need vodka and pennies. For the third one, it'll be aldehyde sludge. You take the formaldehyde and the acetaldehyde, mix them both with detergent. Detergent is the key. And for the final one, you need the aldehyde sludge you just created, and then nail polish remover. For the third chemical, it's going to be 3-methyl-2,4-dinitrobenzene. For methylbenzene, you need the paint, detergent, and drain opener. For making dinitro, you need detergent again with baking soda, vinegar, and the methylbenzene you have just created. I call this chemical the double box. And for the last part, you need the dinitro you just made, and you need to mix it with racing fuel. The first 4 I have just mentioned, you will absolutely need to know for the chemical step. The 5th one is never used, it's just a bonus one, but I will tell you how to do it. For glycerol, you need the animal fat and vodka. For the second one, it's going to be a mixed acid solution. You need the detergent and drain opener, and then ice. Ice is the key here. For the nitrated glycerol solution, you take the mixed acid solution you just got and then mix it with the glycerol you had mixed earlier. And then for the final chemical, you need to take the nitrated glycerol solution you just mixed and mix it with the baking soda. If you need to reference this chart at any time, I'll leave a link in the description to this chart. And now we're going to be in boss fight territory. You got it right. We're doing boss fight, baby! At this point in time, I would recommend Tough Enough, Bang Bangs if you haven't gotten already, Racing Stripes if you haven't gotten already, Quickies, and Deadeye Dewdrops. Deadeye Dewdrops is the key here. Also, when going around, I would highly recommend building the mind control device. And also at some point, you will need to buy the OSA off the wall. It's at the beach, you can buy it there. I wouldn't recommend buying it in the boss fight to save my life. I wouldn't do it. And as well as obtaining gas grenades if you can. Gas grenades are quite common in these bags for some reason. But now, going into boss fight, as long as you have the bomb, parts, and the chemical equation correct, you will go into the boss fight just fine. When you start the boss fight, you will need to go to the bomb that has spawned into the boss fight, but look out for the barrage of eggs on top. This barrage will come down and just absolutely destroy you. If you want to move away from the bomb, you can. It won't be much of a problem until you get to the bridge. Or if you wanted to shoot him like a badass, go ahead and shoot him. We need to take the bomb all the way down to the other end of the beach. You will have to kill zombies on the way there. This is why a single packed UDM is nice. If you want to do the double pack, you can. The double pack process requires 2 of Elvira's vials. That's where the timely torrent comes in handy if you want to do the double pack solution. But anyway, going back to the boss fight itself, you will see me point at a rock. Before the bomb hits this rock, put the mind control device out in front of you. Once you have it placed, you now have brain rot zombies helping you out. That way you can focus on shooting the eggs that will come out of the Krogzilla once you get down to this rock. Use the UDM with the Deadeye Dewdrops effect and the 5-second muscle all in one go. This will help you terminate those eggs. Also, if you need to, throw down gas grenades to protect yourself a little bit if the brain rot zombies don't help you at all. Now going on to the rest of the step. You need to walk this bomb all the way down to the beach. Now you can be hooked to the wheel. If you stand on the right side of the wheel, you'll be hooked all the way through until the bomb hits the bridge. And once the bomb hits the second bridge, you'll kind of get clipped into it. It's super strange. Once it's all the way down, you hear a That would be the bomb getting loaded up to be shot into the Krog. The Krogzilla will eat the bomb. And we go on to the next step. For this step, there are a total of 4 cannons, 1 per person. They're called death ray cannons. There's one on the left towards the RV park, one in the center next to the OSA wall by, one on the right closest to the garage, and one on the back on the bridge. I highly recommend taking the one on the far left. If you take the one on the far left, you can kill the zombies that are climbing up towards the OSA cannon, and on top of that, there aren't many spawns up there, so they have a one-way to you, and that's it. Now, how this step works is the Krogzilla will face you. There's 2 things you can do. One is the beam, the second one is a ground slam, but there is a very distinct difference. When you see that little spot on his chest open up, that's your time to shoot. Now, this has a charge-up time, kind of like the Havoc in Apex Legends, if that makes sense. You need a time to charge the death ray cannon to shoot the green spot, and when it does connect, the boss will kind of falter his pose, and then he'll shoot you directly. When this happens, the green spot stays open, so you have 2 more times to shoot it. Now on solo, it's 3 times. Co-op, I believe 2 players 4, 3 players 5, and then 4 players 7 or 11. I don't. It goes up in scale. I don't remember what the scale is, but it goes up with the more players you have in game. When it does close again, you have completed it, and then the boss will kind of be like shaking his head, saying, "Ugh, I don't feel so good," because you just literally damaged it. At this point in time, you're going to go down to where the bomb was just dispatched the bomb itself into the Krog. And it'll be an outline of the bomb saying hold X to start sequence. This is the longest part of the boss where he's going to start vomiting acid onto the floor. It'll start in 3 sections. First section just goes up to where the OSA drop off is. The second one covers where the OSA is. And then the third one goes up to the far end of the beach, close to where you're cut off. Your goal is to simply survive all the Krog egg slaughters and then the zombies coming in. The hip fire accuracy bug with the stalker is your best for killing the zombies, and then the OSA is best for shooting the Krogs. Once it shoots a set of eggs for the last time, all the acid will go away. He'll give you a laser maze. I'm going to show 3 strategies for this. The first one's going left, the second one's going right, and the third one is that good old mana up strategy. For the first one going left, you want to slide and then jump over the laser and then slide under the next set. For the stuff under the bridge, lasers under the bridge, you slide but don't sprint. This is important. Because the distance is so short for your slide, you're going to dead slide somewhere in the middle of that, and then you just want to walk out of there without sprinting. If you stand up at any time, you will hit your head on the laser and it's an insta down. You don't want that. But once you get out of the bridge, you can stand up again and sprint and jump the last set of lasers diagonally. You want to go at a diagonal angle. If you go straight, you're going to clip one of the lasers and you're going to fail. For the right strategy, it's the same as before, but when we get to the slide under the set of 5 lasers, you want to slide right and then do a hard curve left. This curved slide is the best strategy I have for you instead of going straight under them. That way you're already going diagonal towards the bomb once you get out of it. But again, if you don't get out of there in time, like if your slide isn't far enough, go ahead and start crouch walking and then jump the distance. I do want to say one thing for these lasers at the end. If you don't have stamina up, you're either hitting the laser in the front or the laser in the back. And if you die to laser in front or in the back, I'm telling you, it's just the saddest thing in the world. Believe me, it is. This step is not the easiest for most players. It takes a lot of time and practice. Same with inputting the bomb code at the end. But that leaves us with our third strategy, the mana up strategy. Before the Krog shoots the last set of eggs, when he gets that third layer of acid filled up, there's going to be the acid and then 2 sets of Krog eggs. The first one is after he fills it up with acid, and then the second one will be when you activate it. So after the second set of eggs, shoot them down, activate your mana up, start running for the bomb. And that time frame from the point itself where you're standing up into the bomb is plenty of time for mana up. Because mana up refills your health. It's super fast, dude. That's what it's for. the regeneration rate is so high that you'll be able to survive all that acid that's supposed to kill you. Now, when you get to the end of the bomb, there will be a countdown showing you how long you have until it closes. If you miss it, you have to hold X on the bomb, start the sequence again. Now, when you do enter the bomb, you need to enter the code that you unlocked before. So in my game, I unfortunately had it 1. The bomb code in my game was 41857. Hit the X as soon as it hovers over the number. This takes a lot of practice. If you want to, go into boss battles practices first before actually doing the Easter egg itself. Now, if you miss the code the first time, you'll be spewed out of the bomb, and then you have to restart the sequence like I mentioned before. But the sequence is a lot faster. The game gives you less time on the sequence, so you can just go through it again and do it again. Now, if you do enter the code correctly, even after all those trials you just had, you'll be exited out of the bomb and then granted the cutscene. I hope it helps you guys out a lot. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.